Hey everybody, so glad to be back on here. As most of you know, probably by now, I had been banned from posting on either one of my channels for the last 10 days. So it was only supposed to be a week, but for some reason, I still couldn't post up until yesterday. So I'm so happy to be back. Please check out in the description, I have links to all my backup channels. It's Eric Sees All 2 here on YouTube, and it's still Eric Sees All on BitChute and Patreon. So if you could go ahead and take a minute, go and subscribe to those so I can continue to get this information out to you just in case this gets taken out again. This come out today and is called How to Train to be a CV-19 Contact Tracer. Our reporter enrolled in the popular Johns Hopkins Contact Tracing course. Here's what she learned. How convenient is it that no matter what part of this virus or pandemic or any of it, even if they're working on the VACCINE or just treatment in general, or how about just the number of deaths, hospitalizations, how many have been positive, how many have now been cured. How convenient is it that everything goes back to Johns Hopkins University? And what I love here is how it says in the popular Johns Hopkins Contact Tracing course. Here's what she learned. As businesses across the country gradually reopen, the ability to do so safely will rely on monitoring people's interactions. Contact tracing, the process of identifying and communicating with anyone who might have come in contact with someone who has tested positive, is being promoted as a key tactic for curbing the spread of the CV. Or should it read more like this? Is being promoted as a key tactic for watching and controlling your every move. Yeah, that sounds better, right? And I love up here how it says right here too, the ability to do this safely will rely on monitoring people's interactions. The process of identifying and communicating with anyone who might have come in contact with someone who has tested positive. Might. So because of a might, because of some small percentage, they get to intrude in your life. And this is how they're going to do it. Nationwide, the estimated number of contact tracers needed ranges from 100,000 to 300,000. But what do contact tracers actually do, and how do you become one? See, this is the whole thing, too. Listen to what she says, how she completely it makes my blood boil. She talks about how this is needed, to protect us from CV, but also because there's so many unemployed people and so many people that don't have jobs. This is a great thing for them. This is good news for all you, because now you can become a contact tracer. So instead of you being unemployed, we can give you a job. You get to go track down your neighbor, your friends, your family. Yep, you get to go be a narc. You get to go do all these things, and we'll give you some money. Isn't this the same thing that just keeps circling back? If you just do what they tell you, we'll give you money. If you stay at home, we'll give you money. If you do stuff like this and don't cause a ruckus, we'll give you money. You turn somebody in, we'll give you money. If people can't see how obvious this entire attempt of a takeover is, I truly don't know what else you need to see. It's going to take, obviously, something happening in your own family for this to finally hit you in the face like a frickin' Mack truck. Because if it hasn't by now, I truly don't know if it will. So we're just going to keep trying to talk to the people who will open up their ears, who will open up their eyes, and will have an open mind that we are all being played.
We've all been hearing a lot about the importance of contact tracing to containing the coronavirus. So what is contact tracing? Basically, it's identifying the people that have come in close contact with those who have tested positive for COVID-19 and asking them to stay home, with the goal of trying to cut off chains of transmission.
Contact tracing has been around since public health was a thing. It's used every day in health departments across the United States and across the world.
I was really curious to learn what contact tracers actually do. So I took a week-long remote course to learn the basics of contact tracing, alongside some 400,000 other students who have also enrolled. Many people are eager to learn more about this virus that's changed all of our lives, but also with unemployment levels so high, a lot of people need jobs. In New York, where I'm based, the course is actually a prerequisite to getting hired as a contact tracer, and it's part of the training process in other cities, but it's being used all over the world. The process of signing up was super simple. Oh, great. Okay, I feel like I'm back in college.
Today, I'm going to talk to you about the basics of COVID-19.
Someone can be infected with COVID-19 and not show signs or symptoms for 14 days. Or they may never show symptoms, and that's called being asymptomatic. Contact tracers have to account for these factors.
That's why this disease is tricky, because you can infect people before you know you're sick.
Today, we are really jumping into the first part of the contact tracing lesson. It's a lot of calculating days after which a person was last in contact with an infectious person. Here's an example of a common calculation. Let's say you attended a gathering on May 3rd, where you were in close contact with a friend who tested positive for COVID-19. You should go into quarantine right away. And since we know it could take up to 14 days for symptoms to appear, the earliest you could end your quarantine would be May 17th. Contact tracers have to help people figure out how long they could have been infectious and who they've been in contact with since.
You're going to talk to them about what they're doing to isolate themselves from others so that they don't infect anyone else. And that's a problem-solving exercise. Depending on who you are, living your life without contact with anybody else is actually a difficult thing to do.
We are on to steps to investigate cases and trace their contacts.
Good.
We're watching some example calls.
It's possible that if you were around anyone this past weekend, they could possibly also get coronavirus.
I went to choir practice on Saturday.
Let's take it step by step and talk through everyone that was there.
Are you going to call them?
Yeah.
Sometimes people are reluctant to talk about who they've been in contact with, so part of the job is convincing them that it's in everyone's best interest for them to do so. Something else that's really emphasized a lot is making a plan with the person that you're calling. Do you have a safe place to live? Do you have a mask at home should you need to go out? There's a basic 6-step process that contact tracers follow. Step 1 is identifying the person who's tested positive for COVID-19. Step 2 is inquiring how long they've been feeling sick and calculating their infectious period. Step 3 is figuring out who they've been in contact with since they've been infectious. You're going to have to call those people too. Step 4 is giving the person instructions on how long they should isolate. Step 5, you've got to actually pick up the phone and call that person's contacts to let them know they were exposed and give them quarantine instructions. And finally, number 6 is implementing regular check-ins with the folks who test positive to help monitor symptoms and make sure they're getting the resources they need. I am very excited about today because it touches on a very interesting issue, the ethics of contact tracing.
You should be able to provide examples of the balance between keeping information private and protecting public health.
This is a really interesting ethical point. You can't tell anybody anything you learn in the contact tracing process. Dr. Gurley gave this example. Let's say you're talking to someone who's tested positive for COVID. You find out over the course of the call that one of the people he was in contact with is a good friend of your younger brother. So can you warn your brother not to hang out with his friends for a while? The answer is no. I'm on day 5, skills for effective communication.
You should be able to persuasively ask for them to follow isolation and quarantine instructions.
One thing that they're emphasizing a lot today is avoid being aggressive on the phone, avoid providing personal opinions, and avoid trying to give medical advice.
Part of the job of a contact tracer is a therapist component, to talk to people during times of their lives that frankly can be very scary.
Something else that's coming up a lot is to avoid using too much jargon, like infectious period or case or contract or onset. So looks like the only thing that is left is the final assessment, which is 40 questions, and it is graded. And I guess tomorrow we'll seal the deal. Final assessment. You must receive a score of 85 or higher. Brain food. I just finished the exam. I'm about to submit it, and I'm really nervous. I passed!
After hearing that, I'm sure that makes you just as mad as it did me, because it's just so frustrating listening to someone talk like that, like it's such a good thing, you know, and this is how we gotta do it, by completely destroying every right you ever had left, destroying every inch of privacy or centimeter of privacy, or, you know, anything that you thought that you had that was yours and yours only. Your information, your phone calls, your text messages, your life, your family's life. Obviously, you can tell now that's all gone. It's all out the window. Your life is now their business. Your life is now their control. Are you finally ready to step up before all this happens and all this goes down for good? Do you think that this whole second wave that they are portraying and pushing as hard as they are right now is going to be as easy as the first one was, where you just stayed home and nothing really too bad happened except for people losing everything? But to some, that was okay. It was worth it. It wasn't that bad. I just got to stay home. This round is going to be so much worse. I believe this will be the knockout round. This winter is when I am really, really worried, because I am looking at all angles, including your food production that is just horribly, horribly low. The pricing on the food that has just skyrocketed. All the food that you keep seeing repeatedly every day having to be thrown out because it has salmonella, or, you know, is poisoned or tainted, or has rubber in it, or has plastic in it, or etc., etc. Everyone, they are completely attacking our food supply. And if the farmers are trying to be out there fighting back, which I love them so much, they're trying, but all then they do is they use their weather manipulation or weather modification that we know that they can do, and they do every single day, and they will dump a flood on you, or they will dump a hailstorm on you, or they will put a hurricane to come right through your front door. All we can do now is spread this information. Continue to share these types of videos to show when they put their colors out there, when they show their true colors, how they're telling you we're going to control you. That's the only thing that we can do, is share this information so people see it. We need as many as possible to be working in a different direction than what the mainstream is telling you to go. I am not talking about violence. I am talking about getting together and finding ways to lead in another direction, a safer direction. A direction that is okay and safe for your family, that is okay and safe for your children. A direction where it's okay to go to church, where it's okay to hug your family, where it's okay to live the life that God intended on you living. I hope that each and every one of you have your families held real close right now. If you have any issues with anyone in your family, if you can work it out, I beg you to work it out. There's nothing that would stop me right now to not get my relationships right with my family. And I'm not saying the world's going to come to an end. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to claim there's a date. I'm not going to try to make money off it, etc., etc. I'm just out here pouring my heart out to you, knowing that I come from a family that struggles but has so much love, and that is exactly what I know a lot of you have. That is more valuable and more important, no matter what, than the money. So get your family close, because in these times that are coming, in the next 6 to 8 months, I truly believe you are going to need them as close as possible, and you are going to need to rely on them, hold their hands, and hold each other up. And if we can do that, and we can continue to get families together, we have a fighting chance to stop this complete evil that is trying to attack us and go after us from the inside out. People need to realize that this is not an attack coming from the outside. They have infiltrated everywhere throughout the United States, and that is being seen now on a daily basis. But I need to cut this video short right now. I don't want to keep extending these videos out. A lot of them still are getting deleted and flagged, so I'm just doing my best. If you could please go and subscribe to my other backup channels, Eric Sees All 2 at YouTube, or Patreon, or BitChute, or Brighton. All of them. I have all three of those. It's just Eric Sees All. That way, if they delete my channel, or they shut me down again for another week, or 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, whatever it'll be this time, I can still keep in contact with you. Also, I am working on setting up just an email, chain list, so that you guys send me an email with your name, and I am going to make a folder just for that. And I'm going to put in every single one of you that emails me and says, I'd like to, be able to talk to you, Eric, so that we can talk to all of us, if this all goes down, say my channels go down. That way, if I have all those emails, I just send out a quick email to all of you, and then boom, we can kind of get in the area that we need to get into, okay, to be able to talk. Because I just don't see everything saying, status quo. I feel it inside me, and I know you do. Things are building. Okay? We're in this together, and we win. Keep your hearts and your minds on Jesus. Remember, you are perfect. You mean something. You are important. So don't forget that. And show Jesus you know you're important. Take care of your family. Take care of your neighbors. Take care of your loved ones. Let's make a difference. Let's show Jesus that we're ready to fight against this evil. May it be in this world or the next. I love you all to the bottom of my soul. I cannot even explain how much it means to talk to you, to just be able to, on a daily basis, interact with some of, the best subscribers, I'm not even going to say subscribers, the best people. You all are amazing, and I thank you all so very much. If there's anything else that you want me to talk about, if there's certain things that you want me to look into, I don't care what it is. You tell me. Leave it in the comments, or just send me an email, okay? And I will get to it as soon as I can. I will try to knock out a video for you. I know there's a lot of people that have certain questions about things that may have nothing to do with this CB. And I don't want to cover this all the time. So, if it's about anything weather-related, I don't care what it's about. If I can't figure it out and I can't find it, I'll let you know. I won't lie to you. I won't waste your time. If I can figure it out, I will do it, and I will get back to you. Alright, everyone. You all be safe. Remember, there's no fear. Do not fear. Do not panic. No matter how much they're turning up that knob, that fear knob, they're just cranking it up right now. All you do is you go to the knob on the other side, which is Jesus, and you just crank him up just a little bit more. Okay? Every time that happens, that's what you do. And in the end, every single time, you win. Jesus wins. I love you all. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.